Future Hornets, current Hornets, and forever Hornets. Welcome to another episode of What's the Buzz. I'm your host, Jared Pittman, and we have a special guest. All my guests are special. We're just going to be real. But a really special guest, we have junior biology major Corey Garrison with us today. Welcome to the spot, Corey.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me today.
Thank you for your coming with your busy schedule.
Yeah.
You know, because it's 10th week.
Yeah.
Is it 10th week?
Ninth week.
Ninth
We're
week.
about to go on 10th week.
It's Friday. So yeah. 10th week around the corner. So just not wasting no time, man. How has this first, junior year fall term been treating you so far?
It's been going pretty good. I learned a lot about myself. It's been really busy. Probably the busiest time that I've been through so far in my career here at K.
Yeah.
But I can't complain. I feel like it's been helping me to grow, to be a better person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So today's focus is essentially you.
Mm-hmm.
Like we want to talk about you, your experience here as a Kalamazoo College student, and your K plan.
Yeah.
Like we talk about the K plan a lot because of the different amenities there are to it, the different avenues that you can take with your K plan. And one thing like we like to talk about in the admissions office with prospective students is every student at K has a K plan, but everybody's K plan is unique to them and themselves. Just kind of jumping in, can you talk to us about, your K plan, what you are studying? I know I said biology, but like the specifics of why biology and, where you came from and all of that good stuff.
Originally, I'm from West Bloomfield High School, but I live in Farmington Hills. I came to K to study in biology with the pre-med track. I want to be a doctor. I'm going to be a doctor someday.
Yeah. Power of the tongue, brother.
Yeah. Biology interests me, I would say, just because it keeps me on my feet, got me thinking all the time versus I could be doing math or something, and I may get bored. Versus it's something I can apply to real life basis. Yeah.
So have you taken classes outside of, STEM, and what were those classes and like what kind of motivated you to kind of take classes in other departments and disciplines outside of STEM?
I've taken an art history class, and then I'm taking a music class right now.
Okay, dope.
Just like music is a big part of me, who I am as a person.
Yeah.
And so just want to further my knowledge about music. That intrigued me to take a music class. And then I got friends who make music, so just being able to relate to them and learning something new.
But also, you play football.
Yeah.
Right, and that's our primary connection. Me playing ball, you playing ball, me coaching you for a year as a GA. Talk to us about what that process was, being recruited, and then ultimately making your decision that this is where you want to be a student athlete.
Yeah. So first, I had a couple people from my school in the area come to K, but I never really knew what it was.
Yeah, man, me neither, bro.
No, I didn't know what K was.
I thought it was KVCC at first.
Yeah. And then one day I was in class and somebody came that was like, it's a coach here to see you. And I came out the class and it was Coach Zorbo.
Okay.
He had his little quarter zip suit and tie.
Yeah.
He had me a card and he told me about Kalamazoo College, told me I should come on a visit. So then I came. I met a couple players, I met some faculty, and I met the coaches. And I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me was just everybody cared on a personal level.
Yeah.
So that stuck out to me. And then the academic standard that we have here.
Yeah.
That was another thing that stuck out to me.
Yeah. So was being a collegiate athlete like something that you wanted to do out of high school?
Oh, yeah. Like coming out of West Bloomfield, that was something that's like you're supposed to do. Like you're supposed to be a collegiate athlete.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of a matter of like, where was I going to go? And as I went through the recruitment process, I felt as if the coaches here kept it real and they held me to a standard as not just being a college athlete, but helping me grow as a young man and as a student to get to where I want to be after college.
That's just crazy, bro, because I felt what you felt as far as everybody was caring and personable.
Yeah.
But the transparency of conversations was what I really appreciated.
Yeah.
Because this ain't no easy place.
No.
Academically, socially, and I'm not saying that to downplay, Kalamazoo College. It's just the reality of college and a lot of places, But for them to not sell us no dreams, it wasn't all rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah.
Because in the recruitment process, that courtship is real. They're gonna put their best foot forward every time, and some people may get caught up in not wanting to turn you off because of that transparency. But when you kind of wire how we wired, that's almost a benefit and a value because I respect that because you giving me what potentially could be up front and not me coming in and then being blindsided by all of these things that you never told me about. So what has been like one of your most fondest experiences with your K plan, whether it's a class, whether it's, playing ball, whether it is doing something outside of, academics, whether it's, extracurricular, activity, stuff like that?
I would say my fondest thing is definitely the connections that I've made here.
Yeah.
I think that even like with outside of sports, in my classes, making connection with my peers, that's been the biggest thing. And with faculty, like it goes a long way and helping me make connections with people that I may need down the line too. And then my teammates, connections with them, lifelong memories, people that's gonna be in my wedding, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
that's real.
I just say the connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge too, bro, because that's something that we big on here is community.
Yeah.
You know, like people finding like-minded individuals and establishing community, but also like having the ability to be a part of multiple communities. Like you a student athlete, I was a student athlete. You biology, I was history. Them two different communities right there.
Yeah.
You were part of extracurriculars. I was too.
Yeah.
So now you got all these different type of subgroups that you can kind of lean into, and essentially they at some point they'll blend a little bit. Have you experienced that?
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, it's times where my football teammates, when we are outside extracurricular activities like BSO, Black Student Organization, people blend like that, or other athletes in called YAP. It's a student-led program with kids and disabilities and community.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's like athletes coming together to help with that, too. And then I would say, too, even with the school being small compared to other big schools, the connections that we make here are, like, way more impactful.
Yeah. You know, in the beginning, like, you've learned a lot about yourself. What have you learned, you know, significantly about yourself that you could kind of, like, that your K plan has kind of pushed you towards, you know? Like, what lessons has your K plan taught you? I guess I should ask.
I would say this taught me, like, coming in, I'd be afraid to ask for help. Because in high school, academics was pretty easy. Then coming here, it's a whole different thing. The K plan has for sure pushed me to ask for help and not, ask for help and not be afraid to ask for help. Get the help that you need, use the resources around you. And K plan has also taught me how to have better time management for sure.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, time management, priority management.
Yeah.
Them like the two things I always, you know, talk about, especially with like young college students.
Yeah.
But coming to K, you know, my first term, bro, I got slapped in the mouth for sure.
Yeah, same.
For sure. And I definitely contemplated like, did I belong here? Like my first exam in psychology, I got a 35%.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I remember walking to Hicks to go to Stacks, and it was ironic, bro, because I'm walking back to my dorm, and here comes Coach Zorbo.
Yeah.
Right, and Coach Zorbo can, you know, he can read.
He
can read like a book, bro. Yeah. He's like, "What's wrong?" And I ain't gonna lie, bro. I got emotional because I'm homesick. Yeah. You know, athletically, things weren't going the way I had hoped. I just got this 35% on this exam. I don't belong here. All of these different thoughts I'm thinking in my head. But the conversation I had with Coach Zorbo after that interaction really helped me put things into perspective, and which pushed me into leaning into the K plan more. Yeah. You know, like navigating other departments and disciplines. Like you said, being able to have the confidence and the courage, because it takes confidence and courage to open your mouth and ask questions. But nah, like he was like, go ask questions, go to your professors, go to their office hours, set up meetings, all these different things, which ultimately benefit me later on down the line. So how have you taken advantage of any like internship opportunities, externship opportunities, or like have spoken with like the CCPD? And if you have, like, what have those interactions been like, experiences?
I got a shadow experience this past spring, thanks to Dr. Reagan Williams. She connected me with a K alum who used to go here as an anesthesiologist at Borges. His name is Dr. Burnett. Yeah. And so I went there for a day. I got to shadow open heart surgery.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, I was in the room. He showed me how everything worked. I was right there the whole time. And then he connected me with other K alum that worked in the hospital as well. Yeah.
Man, that's amazing, bro. Is there something that you have established about yourself because of like the K plan that you probably, you know, wouldn't have discovered, you know, anywhere else? So like for me, it was being a creative. I never would have thought I'd be hosting podcasts, acting, all of that stuff, bro. Yeah. But because of the K plan, being able to take classes, all different kinds, and like just having a platter of opportunities in other departments and disciplines, that's something that caught my attention, and I leaned into it. And I never would have thought I would have been here. You know, I thought I was going to law school. I thought I was going to be a professional athlete, you know, like all of that good stuff. Never would have thought I would be working in media entertainment type of thing.
I think the ability to network and then to hustle.
Talk about it.
I say that because with my K plan and me meeting so many people, I got to be able to talk and meet new people, make connections for down the road. And then as far as hustling, my busy schedule, just kind of helped me find a way to get things done when it's need to be done.
Efficient. Yeah. That's something I like to say is grinning and gripping.
Yeah.
So shaking people's hands, smiling in their faces, networking.
Yeah.
Right? And I think I established some networking skills going to like the CCPD and like going to them and having conversations with them and doing the little workshops that they provided and them giving you the tools, because like how important is that 30-second elevator pitch?
Man,
How many
super
times have you
important.
used that?
Yeah, I've used it a couple times for sure.
Yeah. And I can say personally, I'm proud of you. Like, cause I've witnessed you come in, you know, as a first year, now being a junior, kind of like in the thick of it right now. Like you ain't senioritis, you ain't checked out yet. You still got your enthusiasm for everything that you have going on right now, and you involved, bro. Like you are involved. Your schedule, I'm already knowing. You know, what you be saying? Let me check my calendar. If it ain't on my calendar, I don't know nothing about it.
No.
For sure. But no, I'm proud of you and your growth, and your maturity and everything that you have taken advantage of being here. And you have taken full advantage of the K plan by finding a major and a passion, and a path, you know, to what you want to do as a professional post-graduation. It's very easy to just be a student here and go back to your dorm room and do nothing. Yeah. But to have the want to get outside and to interact and to connect says a lot. Before we get out of here, I always ask all of our guests, why K?
Like I sum it down, I chose K because I think it's nowhere else that it's a special place like K. K shapes you into different ways that you don't think that you will be in, or it would make you a different type of person that you
challenge you a little bit.
Yeah, challenge you a little bit. And so I think that was the biggest thing, was just challenging myself, going out there, doing something new, seeing what type of person I am. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you joining me, bro. Appreciate you, man. That's another episode of What's the Buzz. Please continue to interact with our content. We got some things on the way, y'all, so y'all stay tuned. But that's the buzz.